Hello there, how you doing? I've been sent this torch by Wuben to try out. It's the L50, light up your life. 1200 lumens, USB rechargeable, low power warning. This is the box it came in, which is really handy because it's got quite a few details on the back. So let's just have a quick look at what you get, along with the torch, which I actually have taken out already, which is this nice looking little beast. I quite like that, actually, in terms of the way it looks. There we go. And then you get a couple of spare O-rings for sealing, silicone O-rings. There is a lanyard and a USB, it's a micro USB charging port. Could have done to be a USB-C really, as that's now the kind of standard. Right, looking on the back of here, I think there might have been some instructions with this, but I think I've waylaid them and misplaced them somewhere. On the back of here is what you've got is the specification for the torch. So, the L50 is a multifunction flashlight specially designed for outdoor activities, you know, like camping and that kind of stuff. It's a one-piece Osram P9 LED, powered by a one-piece 18650 Li-ion battery, emits 1200 lumens maximum output. Built-in charging design, so you can't actually take the battery out of here. Now, it does have on here what the modes are. So, on high, 1200 lumens will last 1.5 hours, 400 lumens, 2.5 hours. On low, 75 lumens will last 8.5 hours, and on eco, 5 lumens, 143 hours. And the SOS, well, that'll last, you know, for a long time. Beam distance is about 200 meters. It is waterproof, IP68 it says on here, 2 meters underwater for 1 hour. Impact resistant, so it'll take drops to 1.5 meters. It's made of aerospace aluminium alloy, weighs about 90 grams, 138 grams with the battery. Yeah, as I say, I quite like this. In here, you've got your USB charging port, which is just sealed with a little silicone gasket. Some of those things are often a challenge to get back in, aren't they? Go on, get in, you little rascal, there we go. And then you've got your on-off switch here. Now, one of the things I really like about this, in comparison to some of my other sort of like more budget torches, is, you know, with these where you turn it on and you actually have to cycle through the whole thing. With this you don't, it has a memory. I found the instructions, which is probably quite a good thing because I couldn't quite remember how to get it into SOS mode. The good thing about the instructions is it tells you what happens with the battery status when it's charging because there's a battery light and so on. So let's go through how this torch works and why I actually really like this and rate it. This is the on-off button, as I've mentioned, and when you press it, it comes on to what you last had the torch set at. So you can leave it set on your preferred brightness level, which I really like because it means you don't have to cycle through torch settings. So if I turn it on now, I left it on eco. So that's on eco. If I press it again, it goes to low. And what you do is you just lightly press this. You dab it, and it goes on to medium. Dab it again, and it goes on to high. And I think you can probably tell that is actually really bright. I used this in the Sherwood Forest camp, and it is really good. And I will be using this in future videos. And then when you dab it again, it goes on to eco. Now, if I set this to low, and then turn the torch off, then turn it back on, it's on low. I think that's really good. As I say, I really like that. If I move it to medium, turn the torch off, turn it back on, and it's on medium, and then I can dab it if I want high. Useful, right? All right, so I've reset the torch so it comes on eco. So I turn it on, and it's on eco. If I want to access the SOS mode, I double press, and it does SOS. So you double press it, double tap it, and as you can see, it's doing ... .. Good, right? Let's take it out in the dark and give you some sort of like demonstration of what it's like in the dark. Right, so I'm outside, and as you can tell, it's pretty dark. It is night, that's why it's dark. So let's test this torch out and see what it's like. Now, if we take one of these other torches, they do that thing where you can narrow the beam. Well, then that does give you a very narrow point of focus. That fence is probably about 40-50 foot away that this light is focused on. But if I bring it back to a wide beam, and this is on the brightest light, and then I have to cycle through all the different settings to get to the light that I want, which is really frustrating. So let's try the Wuben. So I've currently got the Wuben set on Eco, so if I turn it on, this is the lowest setting. Now, the camera might not pick this up, but I can actually see that fence quite clearly. If I move it onto the low setting, it starts to become a bit brighter. For me, that's really clear, and that's just on low. And that fence is, as I say, about 40 to 50 foot away. If I put it onto the medium setting, you can see the back of my flat there, up there, that's my window. There's the beast. Yeah, and if I put it on the high setting, oops, there we go. I mean, that's really quite bright. Pretty good, right? Yeah, this torch, I really like this Wuben. As I say, I do like the fact that if I now click it off, it'll come back on when I click it back on the high setting. Or if I scroll through, so now it's on the Eco setting, and turn it off, then turn it back on. Yeah, I know you can't see that, but that's actually come back on in the Eco setting, and that's really cool. Yeah, really cool. So if you like this little video, you know what to do. I'm going to put some links for this in the description. There's a link on the Amazon page, on my Amazon page, and I'll put the Wuben links too. And there is a code for 20% off if you're interested. The thing I really like about these is they're about the same quality as Olights and ThruNights, but they're nowhere near the price, and they do have some really good functionality to them. So yeah, check them out if you're interested and looking for a good torch. All right, thanks so much for watching. You take care of yourself. Cheerio.